This is The Fix on Dash Radio. Get the shit.
What's goody? What's really goody? Yes. This next guest that's in the building with us right now, he is, I mean, we kind of know each other.
Yeah.
But and we kind of go way back to AGC, Amazing Grace Conservatory. Shout out to Wendy Raquel Robinson and Denise Bowen. You know, all those people. Y'all know who you are. I think it's Denise Bowen. But anyways, we have Mann in the building.
Yeah, West Side, what's cracking?
What's really goody? How are you?
I'm good. I'm solid. Just chilling, kicking back, you know, being cool.
Kicking back, being cool?
Yeah.
You look like you're kicking back, being cool right now.
Always 24/7. You feel me?
But let's talk about this music. Now, I don't know if you all know, but he had a crazy, probably, I don't know what the streams were worldwide, but, you know, buzzing.
Yep.
Man, I feel like money.
Shout out 50 Cent. 50 Cent, JR wrote him. Everybody that was involved in that record, you know, big hit. You feel me?
Yeah, it was a huge hit. AGC, we were doing every play to your
Yeah,
song.
they always show up.
I'll come back this summer. Still.
Let's throw buzzing in. Let's throw buzzing in the mix.
Buzzing.
Shout out Miss Wendy.
No, right. Shout out Miss Wendy. But you had such a huge hit. Tell us what you're working on right now.
Right now, I've been working independently. I have a label called Faux Life Records. I've been working with different artists from my city, you know, trying to kind of transition into executive A&R type roles, you know what I'm saying? So I've been working on that. I'm dropping a new project in the next few months. And basically, we just really pushing this independent grind, like really just going hard in the streets, you know, getting it from the ground up, making sure the foundation is right this time. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So were you signed to somebody when you did Buzzin'?
Yeah, I was signed to Island Def Jam.
Oh, okay. And what happened with that?
Well, basically, man, I got signed off like my performance, so I didn't have like any mixtapes or nothing like that. So when I went in, I was like 16 years old, and I didn't have really like no say so in the deal. So we were just pushing, trying to make hit records. Basically, every time we went to this studio, we wasn't really able to tap into the artistic side of things. So basically, my records started getting like bigger than who I was. You feel me? And that became like a problem where I was like, yo, I'm thinking about my longevity, and they only thinking about the moment. Yeah. So it kind of just, you know, we stopped seeing eye to eye, and when the chance came, I took my opportunity to be independent.
How was those meetings when, you know what I'm saying, they got a different agenda than you?
They were weak. I didn't like them. You feel me? Because I do this because I love to, you know, create. I love to perform, and I love to, you know, be an artist. And they weren't looking at me like that. They were looking at me like a quick lick, and I just didn't like that, you know, so.
Is that how you feel they treat artists with like the 360 deals?
Yeah. If you ain't going into no label with no leverage, they ain't caring. You know what I'm saying? They gonna do whatever they think gonna make them the biggest, you know, money in the moment. Yeah. You feel me? So they not really into artist development anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna diss the label because they was cool, like for what we did. But at the same time, like for a real artist, that's not the place you want to be if you ain't got no leverage.
Do you feel that hurts hip hop? Because it seems like in hip hop, you see that a lot. You don't see that in like country.
Right.
You don't see. You may see it in a little bit of R&B. You won't see it in that many other genres where it's just like, let's just try to get as much out of this artist right now. Let's get the hits, and then nigga, you gone. You back on the regular workforce. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it for sure hurts hip hop because for a long time though, it was just it wasn't really artist to consumer like that. For a long time, they were like the middleman. You know, so for a long time it did hurt hip hop. But nowadays, I feel like they can't really do that anymore because of social media and the internet. So, you know, I think they starting to figure it out, and they starting to put the right people back into those label positions.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were just talking about this with a previous guest because they were talking about, he was saying what was he saying? I feel like he was saying self-expression, basically. But when you were saying, you know, having people genuinely rock with you, and it's not always about making that hit. It's sometimes just about making the music and then seeing if people are going to rock with you. But don't you guys also feel like that hit is kind of like the breakthrough to really get people to engage in you, and then you can start making all the...
Yeah, 100%. Like, the hit is really where, you know, that's the end goal. You want to get that for sure. Like, even every time you go to the studio, you want to make a hit, but you want to make it on your own terms, and you want to make it something that you're proud of as well. Because you don't really, like, a hit, that's a song that you don't even like, but it's a hit. You're not going to really want to perform that every night, or you're not really going to be able to just, you know, be, you know, fully happy. You feel me? So sometimes like Jay-Z is a perfect example. He didn't get his first #1 till he made like New York. But Jay-Z was already Jay-Z at that point. Like he was performing, touring, doing his hits, but they weren't #1s. Like the label only want a #1. They ain't thinking about just landing on the charts. You feel me?
And a lot of these new artists don't understand. Like when they see Jay-Z, they see the successful shit. They don't know he was doing college tours with like 5 people in the crowd, 10 people in the crowd, still rocking it. They just see the Jay-Z now, the Beyonce shit, the Rockefeller shit, but they don't know they really started like from the dirt.
Yeah, and in my situation, it was like the opposite of that. We just went straight radio before anybody knew who I was, before I put out mixtapes, before any of that. So it's kind of like that's what I've been doing for like the last 5 years, is just going back from the ground up, like touching the people, like really hollering at people and making sure my fan base this time around knows who Man is and what Man stand for.
So when you had that hit coming out the gate, did they put you on like those like festival tours for like a? So that had to be crazy too.
Yeah, it was like a lot of spot dates, big shows, radio shows, like, and my record was huge overseas. So I was overseas for like maybe 3 or 4 years, damn near back to back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we barely even serviced buzzing in the Mac in America. Like as far as me performing and being seen, like doing TV stuff and stuff, I was only really in London, like going up like that. Yeah.
So are you using some of the same tactics that you use for buzzing that you're trying to use now, but independently?
Yeah. Like so like the record we gonna play now is more so like another radio type record. But like before I did that though, I wanted to like really make sure I got the fan base right. So I've been doing like a lot more personal type stuff, and people see different sides of me. But now we have the foundation right, which helps me able to push a record to radio and go back to all my relationships and be like, yo, check this out. Let's put this in a mix. Let's reintroduce the brand.
So you want to tell the listeners about the record we're going to play?
Oh, yeah.
Play it?
This one's called In My Bag. This one's produced by DJ Noble, my boy from Houston. It's a feel-good record, club-type record party. It's going to really just, really turn the summer up, really, especially in California. That's really where my focus is.
All right, so the record's called In My Bag. It's by Man. You listen to Dash Talk X, The Fix. Let's get it.
That was definitely
In My Bag. Shout out DJ
In My
Noble.
Bag, a club, groove.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It definitely gave me summer vibes.
Yeah.
I felt like I was at Dre's in Las Vegas.
Day party type
Day
shit.
party type, you know.
I could hear that in a movie too, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's like a dude finally meets the chick he want. You know what I'm saying? He can afford to take her somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they need to put that in a movie.
Yeah. So regular check right there.
Right?
Hear me?
No, and even your sound is, like he said, like I can see you, and that's dope, like, and that's not only what you can accomplish by doing like commercials or like movies, having regular records out, like you said, your song went crazy overseas, and it has that like, kind of like that K-bop, I can see, or is it K-pop or K-bop? I think it's either K-bop or K-pop.
Yeah, K-pop.
Okay, I said K-bop. K-pop. Yeah. All right, K-pop. But also, though, it had like I could see someone mixing that in an EDM, EDC type of thing.
Right.
That was a groove, and I really like that.
I appreciate that.
And I think I've seen on your Instagram that, because you said you're trying to get more personal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking away from, not taking away, I want to say taking away. You are showing people basically like a new avenue of you. Because this and buzzing give me that vibe of, we're summertime, we chilling.
Light, we turn, you feel me?
But when you go to your Instagram, you're kind of revealing the personal side of you, which I like. It's kind of dope because it's like people will hear that song and they want to go to your Instagram, and then it's like, well, they can see a more personal side of you and just see that, oh, you're not just about making hits.
Yeah. I really love music. I really love all different types of music too, so I just really want to be able to express all different sides and it makes sense to the people and to my fan base. So that's what I've been working on, is connecting those dots.
So piggybacking off the Instagram, if you go on his Instagram, you can see earlier pictures with him and Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
You want to tell the listeners about your relationship with Nipsey Hussle, how you guys came to meet, and just some stuff about them they may not know.
Yeah, I mean, I met Nip when he first got out of jail. We had the same manager. Shout out to Steve Lobel. He got out of jail like maybe 2008, 2009, something like that, and I was still in high school. And we drove to Slauson and Crenshaw, and Nipsey just like got out the car, and everybody was there, and it was like the first time I ever met him, I heard from him, and I'm born and raised in L.A., so I know what the 6 O's are, and I know what that represents, and I was like, what the, I was tripping.
Like,
you
why
feel
the
me?
fuck
Yeah,
am
I was
out
going
here?
back to school like, yo, there's this rapper from the '60s that's
Yeah.
crazy, and they were like, what? So then from that point on, like, we was always kind of like grouped together because Steve would take us to events and shows and stuff because we were new artists, and I was always with him. Like, so I went on tour with him, like the LAX tour with Game. What else? We went to Florida, Miami. We had sessions with the Runners. Like we did a lot of different stuff, and I just was happened to be by him the whole time, and it's just crazy. I'm like blessed to have spent that much time with him.
So what was the moment around him where you felt like you saw something special in him?
Man, I mean, there was a lot of moments. It was like a lot of wild stuff used to happen because, he was still barely known, but the things that would happen for him, I used to be like, wow, this is like legendary, like there was one time we was at like this Jay-Z and Eminem show in LA, and we snuck in. Like we was just on some like, Steve was like, sneak in, da-da-da. We snuck in, and we was mobbing all throughout the place. And this was like maybe 2010, and Jay-Z asked for Nip back then. This is before anybody
way
knew
back
Nip.
then?
Yeah. And this was like a Jay-Z Eminem show. We was just lucky to be there. So Jay-Z asked for Nip, and we go to Jay-Z's dressing room, and he's just like, respect. Like one word, right? And Nip's was like, yeah, da-da-da-da. And we walked away. And we all was just like, even Nip was just like, what the fuck? Like, that was Jay-Z, homie.
Yeah.
He knew who I was, and he respected his craft. And that was before anybody ever seen them together, before the $100 mixtape, all that stuff. So, it was like a whole bunch of moments like that. Like, people really would gravitate towards Nip like that and saw his greatness early.
I feel like that's why Jay-Z, he can keep himself relevant because he always keeps his ear to
I
the
was like,
street.
how did he know
what I'm
Nip? This is
saying?
before Nip dropped the album.
Yeah.
Like, this is
This
like
before Bullets Ain't Got No Name?
this is around Bullets Ain't Got No Names.
okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the third one.
Oh, shit.
You feel me? So this is before Nipsey even really hit his stride.
They said one of Jay-Z's favorite songs is The Hustle Way.
Yeah.
And that was from back then. So
Yeah.
he probably heard it and was like, oh, that's homie.
Yeah.
From
it's
The Hustle
crazy.
Way. Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
And that's
R.I.P. Nip.
dope for Nip to have such a huge impact like that and not even be where you want to be yet. You know,
Yeah.
for him to have that impact on Jay-Z,
Yeah, that's
a
it.
legend,
Yeah.
and to have someone come up to you, that was probably
At they show.
at that day, he
Yeah.
was probably like, wow, like hustle and motivate. Like,
Yeah.
like that same day, you know, like.
Oh, another thing, the We Are the World 25th anniversary.
Oh, yeah. That's just funny, though. And Nips in the back. Were you there with him that day,
Steve
too?
snuck us in there, too. We was all there. Like, Nipsey didn't even want to be there. Nipsey was like, man, I ain't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You feel me? I was there like, man, I'm going to make it happen. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then it's like, even that day on set, he threw up Neighborhood
I saw that.
in We Are the
Yeah.
World. Like, it's legendary. He
You
did
can
stuff
see it
like
in
that.
his face in the back. He looked like
He
nigga
didn't know.
don't want to be there.
Because
Really?
we were in there really supposed to be low key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think they asked for Busy Bone to go. And then, because Steve managed Busy Bone too. And he was like,
Okay.
yo, just go in with him.
Yeah.
So we just kind of went in and just
Yeah.
fit in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like right at the end, he did throw up his set, though.
crazy.
And it's funny though, most people who are successful,
Yeah.
they all had to sneak in
Yeah,
to do
you gotta
something.
take
They had to
chances.
lie
Yeah.
to just get an opportunity, and then
Yeah.
look at them now,
Yeah.
legends,
Yeah.
making moves, and
Always legendary moments.
Yeah.
and to pick up off of that, you know, I do like Kodak Black for, you know, I was a Kodak Black fan. I'm still kind of a Kodak Black fan. I don't agree with what he said
Yeah,
about
he's just young. He
yeah,
saying young
just
stuff.
talking out of his head. You know,
Yeah.
I don't even think because he's met Nipsey plenty of like. There's been
I
plenty
think
of times
Nipsey
he's
promoted his album, too.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and you know, for him to say that, I mean, you know, like we said, it was goofy, it was immature, it was irresponsible,
Yeah.
and that
super.
kind of leads us into our question for the day for this show.
Yeah. So this is going to be the first week of J. Welf's Random Questions. So what do you guys define cheating in a relationship? We're going to start with the guest first.
I think cheating would be anything that your significant other wouldn't like, or you can't tell them. Like, if you feel like you can't tell them that you're doing something or something,
Yeah.
you're about to do something, then it's probably cheating. It's in that area of you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have to double think,
Yeah.
like, should I really be doing this? I mean, you liking a girl's picture or me liking a guy's picture isn't me cheating. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I like the picture now. If he slides in the DMs, you know.
But how would you know, though?
What do you mean? How would
How
I
would
know?
you know if he slid in the DMs?
For
Are you-
my DMs or
No, like the girl in the relationship,
Mm.
because the only thing she has to play off of it is that like. That's the only thing you can see unless
Yeah.
you take the nigga's phone.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's cheating though.
But-
Yeah,
but-
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Is that wait? So that is
not
cheating.
not the liking part, but just like
that's a stepping stone.
But it's a stepping
for
stone.
sure, for sure,
But it's
yeah.
a step.
And it's like, why did you like it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What did you like
right?
about it?
What did you like about it? Right?
Yeah.
It was it the angles.
Yeah. You don't like my angle?
You know, like my angles, and it just leads
New level.
more
This
into.
wasn't around 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But is it cheating if someone's like okay, say if old home girl slides in your DMs like, yo, it's been so long, I haven't seen you in a minute. We should just, get some lunch, just chop it up, catch up real quick. Is that cheating?
Yeah, because I wouldn't want the person I'm with doing that shit. I'll be like, nah, you ain't going out to eat with this nigga.
What if you knew them? What if you know the guy and you're
Well,
like,
he
you know
should
what?
be sending a group message
Yeah,
of
something.
both of us to meet
Yeah.
his ass. And he
It's-
better come with a
That's
bitch
tricky.
too. Shit.
That's tricky for sure. Yeah.
For real.
They better do
That's
some
a
double
tricky
date
one.
shit or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
But
fuck
you-
all that.
And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like if you feel like you need to cheat, it's not really even
nah,
worth it.
Gets tricky.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when you're in that moment, you don't even realize.
Yeah.
That
the
you're-
you don't even realize the buildup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To you, you could be going into some shit
Innocent.
innocent, and then the next thing you know,
Come out filthy.
you know what I'm saying? So you don't know,
Come out 50. I mean, and it's funny because you look at some of these celebrities. I know Tory Lanez said that he would never get a girlfriend who is a celebrity. He wants a regular girl. How do you all feel about that? Once you reach a certain status, do you all feel like you should have someone who is kind of in the same career path as you and y'all can possibly motivate each other, work it out? Or do you feel like you should get a regular schmegler Subway, make your sandwich 5 foot?
Yeah, I ain't
6
fucking
inches.
with
It's a
no Subway,
double-edged
bitches.
sword I think on both, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a celebrity one, it's gonna be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, and it's gonna be kind of like y'all both got to be really secure in what what y'all doing. But then also, like that they'll understand you, and y'all both understand each other and what y'all going through. But then also somebody that's not doing something, they ain't gonna understand you, but you ain't gotta worry, or you gotta, you know what I'm saying, or you do have to worry because you hella busy. You feel me?
The regular ones you gotta worry because they're not gonna get this lifestyle.
Exactly.
They're
so-
gonna be like, well, why you ain't got a set time to where we can go out and do X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z? But doing this type of shit, there is no set shit.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
change daily.
yeah, so it's
And
it's
there's a
double-edged.
whole nother animal of issues you're gonna deal with. So I think that's why a lot of celebrities deal with celebrities, because they understand like the moves that's gonna be made. It's not gonna be no set. All right,
Yeah.
Friday we going out type shit. You gotta kind of play it by ear.
Yeah.
All right, so that's leads into my next question.
Oh,
So
shit.
say y'all both on the same status, right?
Yeah.
How do you know if it's genuine and it's not just like, well, I got cloud, you got cloud. Let me try to get on your cloud
Or
a little
good
bit
look type shit.
for a good look.
Mm.
How do you really know when the line is being crossed? How do you really know they're like, hey, babe, go to the studio. Yeah, I'm trying to go with you too. But she really just in the background, like, yeah, making some music with blasey, blasey, blasey. We working.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's getting tricky, man.
Yeah,
Like you really
yeah.
ain't gonna know. Period. You just gotta
Yeah.
kind of you gotta just hope, be hopeful.
And
Yeah,
I guess
fuck
that's,
that.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that answers our question at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
also, too, wait, before, we kind of wrap this little segment up, I want to know, as a guy, how do you all feel about, you know what? We're going to scratch that question. I thought about it a little bit more. I don't like it.
So,
I don't like it. But on that tip, I want you to go ahead and tell us where we can find you at, your social media,
yeah.
what's coming up next. And also, I know we didn't get a chance to touch on it, but if you have any features coming up with any artists, please mention those right now. We'll
Okay.
love to know who else you're working with.
Yeah. Well, I just did a feature for my boy Osby's album, Dogma. It's about to drop May 24th. I'm really excited about that. I got a feature with Casey. I got a couple features on my project that I'm really excited about. I don't know the name of my title of my project yet. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's coming like I think June. Like I'm like mixing it, putting it together now. So be on the lookout for my new project. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram, man_WestLA. On my Twitter, Yump Daniels. That's my Twitter. Yeah, just stay tapped in. We really dropping a lot of stuff. I just dropped a project I dropped in 2012 called Freshman on Varsity. It's a re-release, and it got a record on there with Frank Ocean and Kendrick. It got a record with Casey Veggie's Problem. I got a lot of people on that project, and this was like something my label didn't support back then.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to re-release it with my distribution deal now.
Okay.
So check that out, Freshman on Varsity, and then I'm dropping a new project in July soon.
That's genius. I love
Yeah.
it. I think
Thank
that's
you.
dope that you brought that back.
Thanks.
You
Yeah,
all
I'm
heard it.
trying to just hack distribution. You know what I'm saying? Really just get my catalog out there so my fans can go back and really get to learn Man. You know?
That's what's up.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks, man. Thank you for telling us what's really goody.
Yeah.
Stay with us for our next guest. This is The Fix.
We got No Writtens coming up. Let's get it.